Mr. Killa Beats, welcome to Real
Yo,
Talk with Star Scorpio. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, brother. I'm doing well. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Yes, of course, man. Um, I've been waiting for this interview, man. Like sometimes I scroll through Instagram and
Mm,
I see talent, whether it be
right.
vocals or like you, beatbox.
Mm,
So to me, I'm going by the old name. I don't know if it's still called human beatbox.
definitely. I mean,
Yes,
the human part has kind of been removed and it's been called beatbox, but I like to maintain that whenever I'm asked about it. Human beatbox.
yes,
I go by. I'm,
nice.
I'm a human beatbox artist, most definitely.
Yes, so you're a human beatbox artist, producer, and I believe on your Instagram it said art educator too. I wanted to get into a lot of these things today, but
Mm.
I always start with this. Let's get the timeline going, man. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Scarborough, 1985.
Hmm.
Wasn't living there for very long. Like as time went on, my parents moved more west until we ended up in Saga, and pretty much just been in Saga ever
Oh yeah,
since. You know.
yeah. So did you do public school in Scarborough then? Did you go to public school here?
No. I wasn't like I said, like I was literally just born there, then gone.
Oh, and then God.
Yeah. Like I didn't even
Okay,
go to school out there. Like I didn't start going to school. I think my first school was in Etobicoke, if I'm not mistaken.
okay.
We were in
You
Etobicoke like when I was in kindergarten, and then we moved to Saga. Like I think grade one-ish or something like that. I don't know. It's a while ago.
okay? Yo, so I know about Mississauga because I was born in Toronto too, so in Scarborough. But I remember in the 90s when I used to go out, I have a lot of Indian friends,
Right.
and it was like the Indian population was big out there in Mississauga and Brampton.
Mm.
And it was underdeveloped, man. So you went when it was still developing, right? When
Right,
um
right, right, right,
the
right.
Mississauga area. Okay.
Yeah,
And
yeah. There's enough bush back in the day, so
yeah,
enough bush everywhere. Yeah.
yes, true, true.
Enough
Yo,
dirt roads and things.
yeah, the dirt roads, yeah, before they built up the infrastructure.
Yeah.
Okay, what high school did you go to?
I went to Clarkson Secondary School.
You went to Clarkson, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. I dated a girl from Clarkson and she's probably in her 40s now. But
Right. Like
Marissa
living in
Edwards.
Clarkson or just went to
Yeah.
school.
Like
Really?
I used to go up there all the time, man.
Interesting.
Marissa
That means you
Edwards.
probably crossed paths at some point then, most definitely.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I live in Clarkson.
You live in Clarkson. Crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know the
I've lived
area.
in Clarkson since I was like in grade six.
Great takes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yo, so I like to ask people too, how were you in school, man? Like when it comes to subjects. And I'm really touching on this too because I am so appreciative that high school, even junior high, we had music, we had art class, things like that. So I'm on the creative side. I did comedy, right? And
Right.
drama. So that got my creative juices flowing, right? I didn't really like, the English and the math, but
Mm.
I'm glad we had that in school. So for you, were you good in the English and the math and the sciences? And did you have those classes like that you got to explore your talent?
Okay, the thing about the English, math, and the sciences is like not that I couldn't do it or that I wasn't good at it.
Hmm.
I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. I didn't
Yeah.
like being there. You know what I'm saying? Like I won't lie. I'm not going to say I was a great student back in those days. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Bare skipping class to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how
Yeah.
that's just how it was. I won't lie.
Okay.
Um, Things didn't start popping off until I started hearing about talent shows.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's like people didn't even know that I beatbox. At the same time, bro, back in them days, I didn't even know that I was nice. I just did it. I didn't even
Okay.
think that I was like special. I didn't think there was anything special about the way I beatbox at that time. Straight up.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I started seeing other cats in the school dropping beats for ciphers. I was like, beats kind of sus. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I mean, like back in those days, there's a lot of battling going on. Whether it was breakdance battles, rap battles, there's always battles going on in
Yeah.
Clarkson. In the cafeteria,
Hmm.
there's always something popping off, right? So after people got wind that I did a little beatbox, then I started getting tested by the men that were known as the beatboxers at the time, and like it was easy food. It was
Hmm.
easy food. Easy. That's when I started getting a little cocky, like, okay, maybe I'm maybe I'm kind of nice, you know.
Okay.
But prior to that, though, I didn't even think there's anything special about what I did. Man. That's straight up. Yeah. I had no idea.
Okay, so we gotta build this history here because I'm a 90s kid. Like I was born in the 70s. So in the 90s, 90s hip hop. So I grew up with that era, first 80s, like the Big Daddy Kanes and stuff like that.
Right.
And then, the Biggie Smalls came around. When you look at the four elements of hip hop, when we talk about the MC, the DJ, the graffiti, and the breakdancing,
And actually, the human beatbox is the fifth element.
You damn right. Yes.
Gotta put that out there.
But you got to tell me something though. When I was in high school and people were battling, it was always rap battles. So at lunch, at break, after school, people might be battling that were nice. They could freestyle. But beatboxing wasn't a thing. So we always had the beatboxer sometimes that would give you a beat and you could rap over it.
Right.
But so you're telling me was this a big thing going on when you were growing up? Like, okay, there's a bunch of us that could beatbox.
Well, growing up, it was like a bunch, not a bunch, but like most schools had like one guy that was like nicer than the average.
Okay.
Right. So I was the one guy that was nicer than the average in my school. So this all became because of the Rahzel era. So when Rahzel came out with his album, Make the Music 2000, and it came out in 99.
Okay.
That's when beatboxing started buzzing again because he came with all the sound effects. Like he came with all the crazy sound effects.
Yeah.
So people kind of wanted to get back on the beatbox train because of Rahzel.
Okay.
Right. So everybody was trying to do his Wu-Tang beats. Everybody was trying to do If Your Mother Only Knew. Or there was actually this one track with him and Kenny Muhammad, the Human Orchestra, versus DJ Scribble and DJ Slinky.
Okay.
Right? So it was like man versus machine. You know what I'm saying? So like there's the four elements that they did: earth, fire, wind, and water, I believe.
Okay.
So like everybody was trying to imitate these beats. You know what I'm saying? So more times people were more trying to do like their best Rahzel impersonation or Kenny Muhammad impersonation, you know what I'm saying? But I came with original shit. Like I could do that shit, but I also would just like listen to the radio and look for ideas that way. Like whatever song was bumping at the time, like whether it's Grinding or Warning from Biggie, whatever, I tried to do that with my mouth and do that shit.
Yo, I respect. Thanks for giving me that because I'm out of touch a little bit, with this stuff. So it's good to hear the history and things like that because I came from the era, and of course Dougie Fresh and rest in peace Biz Markie, Beatbox. But there's Beatbox has transformed, right? To your typical beat to now you're doing all these sounds and transformation of vocal sounds and things like that. But there was a guy that was on Police Academy.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Michael
yes.
Winslow.
That's okay. First, I want to give respect to also, I think it's Darren Robinson, Fat Boys.
Buffy from the Fat Boys.
Yeah, there you go, man. But yo, when we watched Police Academy back in the days, and we knew the beatbox and all that, but when he came with the different sounds, it was like crazy. And I'm like, are you serious? You can imitate this and that. Tell me how your beatbox transformed too, because you couldn't have started like doing all the crazy sounds, right?
Well, I'll tell you this though. Because of Michael Winslow and because of Police Academy.
Yeah.
I was doing that sound in particular. I was doing from when I was like 5.
Oh,
because of Michael Winslow.
Okay.
That's just the truth. That's just the truth. Because I think with Police Academy 4 or 5, there's like 10 of them. But it's like one of the middle ones, right?
Yeah.
And he's fighting some dude in the warehouse. He got thrown into these shelves, and then there's like all these like metal plates around him. So he put them on him, and like he had like this hook in his hand like this, and he was walking. I will destroy you, like, you know what I mean? And as a kid watching that, I was like, yo, that's crazy, because I knew he was doing it with his mouth. So like, okay, if he could do this, there must be a way that I could do it. And I kind of figured it out, right? But as far as my beatbox evolving, well, okay, I'll bring it back all the way to the beginning.
Bring me back, bring me back, yeah.
So some of my cousins were at my crib a long time ago, and they're just messing around like a little cypher thing, you know what I mean? Like, and I always took to my cousin Rupert, who was doing the beatbox. Okay. You know what I mean? I remember the first time I seen him do that, the very, very, very first beat I ever spat in my life was this. I'll never forget it. That was the very first attempt at any beatbox. That's the first thing I ever did.
Wait. keep it in your head right now, because
Yeah.
also I don't want to forget this.
Mm.
Because of my age too, we don't have a lot of things recorded, audio or video when I was younger. Do you have audio or video of these things? Let me know too while you're talking about this.
Of me when I was younger?
Yes. Or even, the progression when you got a little older. Do you have footage of you with the original competitions and things like that?
I got some things kicking around for sure. I might have to do some digging, but I definitely have some
Okay.
some older stuff for sure.
All
I
right.
don't know about like old. I might have some cassettes.
Yeah.
If I can find some cassettes, I might show you some stuff from like when I was like 9.
Yeah,
Possibly.
yeah.
But I would have to dig for those, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
yeah. Okay, continue. Let me hear this.
Right. So, like I said, from that time, from like when my cousins used to beatbox and stuff like that, like we always just used to mess around just beatboxing and recording on like our cassette tapes and stuff like that. We just used to just mess around just for fun. And also I grew up in the church, so there's this very, very musical environment. And what I took more to was like the a cappella groups. There's a lot of vocal groups back in those days. They used to sing in church. I wasn't the biggest fan of like the organ. I wasn't the biggest fan of like the choir music and stuff like that, right? There's something for me that always took to like vocal music, especially when it came to the bass guy. Like I just always took to that, right? So you may heard of a group called Take Six.
Yeah.
Right. So they came from the same denomination of church that I went to, which is Seventh-day Adventist, right? They're from Oakwood College. And they were killing it with the acapella. But what they were doing differently was that they would start imitating instruments. You know what I'm saying? Like the bass guy, he pretty much imitated like an upright cello. And like the vocal arrangements of Take Six were actually made for like trumpets if you really take it in. Like the kind of thing that they do with their voices is like what trumpets would normally play, but they were doing it vocally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really, really took to them. And then like after seeing them live, they came to Toronto, and I still remember this is crazy because I was like maybe 6, 7 years old. Wow. My cousin took me. And they weren't only just doing all the stuff that you're hearing on the album live, but like now they're beatboxing, not even realizing that they're beatboxing, but like they're doing these drums and these hi-hats, and it's like it's crazy. Yeah. So again, as a kid, I'm trying to imitate this stuff, right? So Michael Winslow, Take Six, my cousin, all these things are just like slowly molding what's gonna become what I'm gonna become later on, right?
Yeah.
But like I said, I was just doing it because I just like the music, and I just wanted to just try doing it just for the hell of it. You know what I mean? It wasn't until high school, like I said, that I realized that I was different. Right. So like I said, the Raza era kind of spawned these new beatboxers. You know what I'm saying? But they weren't on my level at the time.
Yeah.
Like just being honest, not to sound cocky. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like one story that I like to tell people. Actually, one of my high school friends actually brought up the other day, and one time we're in the hallway by the library. Yeah, kicking the beat, and the principal came up to us like, "Okay, buddy, you gotta get rid of the radio." We're like, we don't have no radio. This guy dead ass thought that we had a radio. He's like telling man to move out the way, like, "Yo, you can't have that. You can't have that in the hallway blasting the radio like that. Like it's not." Yeah. And then my boys are like, "Yo, you just gotta show. Like you gotta show." Or you know what I mean? And,
yeah.
And I showed him. He's like, "Holy smokes! Like you're on one." Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, that's some different ish right there, bro. Like, okay, good for you, man. Like, yo, I can't even be mad at that, you know?
Yeah.
And so there's this thing that we used to have in high school called the cancer drive. So they used to raise money for cancer by putting on different like events.
Yeah.
And they have games and stuff for prizes and stuff. And any money that's made off these things is donated to this cancer drive, right?
Okay.
So one of the things was a talent show, right? So I had never done anything on a microphone at all at the time.
Okay.
Never, like, prior to this moment, I may have had a 1-2 battle. Yeah. With one of the guys at school, but like nothing crazy, you know. Only like a handful of people knew that I did what I did.
Okay.
You know? And they're pushing me like, "Yo, man, you gotta do a talent show." I didn't want to do it because I was nervous as hell. Like I didn't even like reading in front of class. Not that I couldn't read, I just didn't like it. I was just too shy to do it. I was shy. I was hella shy. You
know that feeling. Okay.
Yeah, man. So they're egging me on to do this talent show. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Like to shout out my boy. I don't know if you know Junior T, but he went to Clarkson as well. He was one of the guys who was trying to influence me to do the talent show. As a matter of fact, he's one of the guys. He used to drive me around actually
Yeah.
to other schools. We used to go with a bunch of men. Like, yo, when we see her talent show was going on, and there's gonna be a beatboxer there, we're like, yo,
Yeah.
gotta go get him. You know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
go there and watch the show, and then we'll literally call him out after the show, like, yo, let's do this. You know what I mean? You do your thing, I do my thing. Let's go. You know?
So have battles, right?
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
amazing. Okay.
Yeah. Man. But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I mean, I went to the audition.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I went in there when they asked me to do my thing. I just stood up. I closed my eyes. I didn't want to see nobody. I closed my eyes and I looked out.
Wait, how many people you talking? How many people you talking here?
Not even a lot, man. For the audition, there's maybe 6 people in the room.
Okay. Okay.
Like it's just a small crowd of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then yeah, they're all like, "Holy smokes!" Like, yeah, you could definitely perform. Like, what the hell? Like, where did this come from? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then fast forward to the day of the show. Now, this is my first time touching stage, first time touching mic, first time in front of a crowd doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember I had my baseball cap on, super low.
Yeah.
Super low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see nobody.
Yeah.
Had
Yeah.
the mic super close. Close my eyes.
Yeah.
And just went in for like 5-6 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
And the crowd snapped, bro.
Wow.
The crowd snapped. Just like, what on earth did we just witness? And to be honest, I'm pretty sure if I were to watch that video now, it'd probably sound like trash, right? But for the time,
yeah,
like it was good. You
of
know
course.
what I'm saying? Because of course I've elevated since I was in grade 9, right? But I mean, at the time, like I just remember that feeling of the crowd reacting that way to what I did. That's what I think. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. You
wow.
Know?
Wait,
so
how old are you?
Moment right there. Sorry.
How old are you now? Not now. Like, how old were you then?
Then, probably like 16, maybe.
16. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. 16.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a nice story. And we talk about elevation though. So is this one art form that you always practice to try and improve and try and do different sounds too as well? Or is it like, okay, I got what I got and I'm at the level where I need to be, but you always try and elevate to new sounds?
Right. So there was a mixture of both for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So once I realized that I was different, I was working on it hard and always trying to learn new sounds, like always listening to what was out at the time. So my guys back in the day, because I grew up on the Fat Boys. Like I knew Buffy before I even knew who Roselle was.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Buffy was my guy before that. Like that was my ish. That was
yeah. Yeah.
So there's my guys were Buffy, Dougie Fresh, Biz Markie, Roselle, Kenny Mohammed, Scratch from the Roots, Killa from the UK. So that was like the core of beatboxers that I paid attention to the most at the time. You know what I'm saying? I was just trying to do like their sounds or like things along the lines of like, or like not even like taking their beats, but just like listening to the pattern of how they use their sounds with certain beats. Like, because I had the robot sounds and stuff from Michael Winslow, but it wasn't until seeing Roselle use that with the beatbox that I thought like, okay, you can mix those two things. Yeah. Because I thought that beatboxing and sound effects were 2 different things initially, right? But then watching Roselle use them and everybody else I started to mix things. You know what I'm saying? And then I got comfy for a bit. Because battling and winning was not a thing. You know what I'm saying? I used to there's a site, I think it's still active, called humanbeatbox.com.
Okay.
And the way that we would have battles on that was that you call out the dude, and then you both would post clips, and then there will be a poll after. Everybody gets to vote who they think won, or who posted a better clip. You know what I'm saying? And I've never lost it. I've never lost at all.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's been a while since I battled.
Is this?
This is a while ago, but I mean, like during the time where I was battling, like I was eating everybody's food.
Wait, so when you say posting clips, are you talking about in just Canada, the States, around the world? Like, where?
No, this is worldwide. This is worldwide.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is worldwide. Yeah. Everybody on this site was like from everywhere. Everywhere. You had guys from UK, you had guys from Korea, you had guys from the States. Like this, everybody was on this. So like whoever wanted to battle, they would just call out whoever they wanted to call out, post a clip, and then there would be a poll after, and then people would vote for whoever they thought won.
Yeah.
So I was doing a lot of those, and then slowly, I'm sure you've heard of King of the Dot, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they had the whole rap battle thing going on. So slowly, beatboxing started to slip into that as well.
Okay.
One thing that was really cool, especially back in the days, is that certain areas had different styles of beatboxing.
Okay.
And so, like when Killa came through from the UK, you started to hear more jungle beats and drum and bass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're beatboxing what they listen to, what they vibe to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It reflects their music and things like that. You're saying
okay. Exactly. Like when you hear Rozelle or Kenny or myself, like we're hip hop heads or Scratch,
right?
We're hip hop heads, so like you're gonna hear some hip hop for the most part when you see us live,
right?
So to have the drum and bass and the jungle in your head and transfer into your mouth, like your mouth is quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have a quick mouth now because those beats are really, really fast, like really, really fast. You know what I'm saying? So that started to come into play, and people started to get into the fire with that. But because I'm not really a drum and bass guy,
yeah,
I kind of missed that. Okay. I'm still doing the hip hop thing, right?
Yeah.
And also when dubstep became popular, right? I got on dubstep late as well.
Okay.
Right? So the cats that are listening to dubstep are beatboxing dubstep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So check this out now. I'm going to tell you another story. So I think it was 2010.
Okay.
We have the first annual Canadian BBox Championships.
Okay.
Right? Because at this time, we're having championships everywhere now. America has their version of it. You know what I'm saying? And different countries have their version of it. Like Germany has their version of it, right? Because ultimately, the winners of those will go to the World Championships.
Okay, I get it.
So anyways.
Wait. So who in Canada, which Canadians, like the organizers of it, and were there hip hop MCs that I know that were involved in it, or people in the industry that are well known that were a part of this too? Or was it mostly underground?
You might know. I mean, if you're from Toronto, you should know. You should know at least. You know what I'm saying? Like the guys from KOTD, like Organic. You might know Scott Jackson. He's one of the beatboxers who are involved with BBox Canada.
Okay.
Who put on these battles that have been going on, and he's a good friend of mine too.
Okay.
And he's sick.
He's sick.
Oh God, that was nasty.
Yeah,
nasty. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So back to the first annual Canadian Champs that's going on. So it was kind of a rude awakening for me. You know what I'm saying? Because it was that particular event that let me know that things have elevated again. Yeah. Right? Because the Rozelle era elevated from the Dougie Fresh and the Fat Boys era, right? So I was kind of like a product of that era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But because I wasn't really listening to dubstep and all that stuff, but those guys who beatbox and listen to dubstep, like, because those beats have certain sound effects and certain patterns and bass drops and stuff that, like, if you can do that with your mouth, that's gonna be really hard to beat. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I have to battle this guy, BBK.
Okay.
He's very young at the time. Very young at the time. And he actually had an ex on the stand to make sure no one served on no alcohol. That's how young he was at the time.
Oh wow, okay.
Right. Yeah. He was young, but he got him because, like, he was one of the battlers for the thing.
Yeah.
And they call me to the stage, to call him to the stage. And the way that this particular battle worked, like, you wouldn't know right away if you won, right?
Okay.
I go, he goes, I go, he goes, or vice versa. I think he went first, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Right? But anyways, you would know if you won if in the next set of rounds, if your name got called up to, you know what I'm saying? Right.
Okay, yeah.
So we do our battle, right? We do our battle, and I come off stage, I feel pretty good. I thought it went well. You know what I'm saying? I thought it went well. You know what I'm saying? The DJ was playing a beat right before the second set of rounds. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be ignorant and beatbox this beat that this guy's playing right now, just for the hell of
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm in a crowd. I remember just vibing to myself, just taking in the beat and kind of practicing it. I'm like, yeah, whoever I get next is definitely gonna catch this beat, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
So the rounds are about to start up again. All right, here is, yo, can we get Peter Pot to the stage and can we get BBK to the stage? The funny thing is, it didn't even settle in right then and there. I was like, oh, okay, this should be an interesting battle. BBK versus, I'm like, hold on a second. I'm like, BBK? BBK's on this. I'm like, oof. I'm like, I took an L. Because the thing is, bro,
Wow.
that was my first L. I've never lost a battle up to that point.
Yeah.
That was my very, very, very first L that I've ever taken. And I was in shock.
You were shook too, eh? So that's what you were saying. You know you win when they call your name for the next round, right? So you're saying,
Right.
oh, man.
Right. So when I
Yeah.
seen the dude who I just battled go back on stage, like like I said, it didn't even register right away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thought that maybe it was like a tiebreaker for third place or something. I don't know what I thought. And then it sunk in. I was like, dang, that's rugged. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yo, the boy is nice, man. And even now, like, again, he's disgusting. Like I said, beatboxing has elevated a lot from when I started, and like it's elevated a lot. And as nice as I am, I have no shame in saying that there's a lot of guys who are a lot nicer, straight up. But it makes me happy to see that, you know, that the younger cats are taking it further. Right?
Yeah, the art form. Yeah, man. You just got to keep going.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. It's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
So you're talking about that, the Canadian one, but then I see you're the champion. What's the tag team champion? Like, how does that work?
Oh, okay, so there was some 2-on-2 battles that were going on for a little bit, where you have two beatboxers going against another team and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So me and a beatboxer, Subconscious, at the time, where we were a team, we went by word of mouth, and yeah, pretty much whenever we entered battle, we just yeah, because we known each other for quite some time, so we had a chemistry that was very, very, very solid. We had a very solid chemistry, and I think what made us win the battles that we won was just we just had too many beats. We just had too many beats. Too many beats. Like when guys are not freestyling their beats, we're still coming with like routines. You know, so it's just, we just had too much shit for you guys. You know,
that's the question I want to know too. Like, when you look at rap battles, you know, there's a freestyle element to it. Like a lot of people freestyle, but then some people come with written or whatever. So I was trying to think with beatboxing, do you have your set, you know, thing that you're gonna do, or is it a lot of freestyling at the time, or you have to come prepared? Like, how does that work?
Are you talking about for battles or just for performances? More battling?
Like performances, it seems like you would have something already to go because. Well, I'm not sure. Oh, look at that. Okay, school me on this because I want to know.
Okay,
performances, how does it work, and also for the real battles, the competitions.
Right. So performances at this point, because I have so many beats in my head, I'm kind of able to just almost play DJ in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So more times when I'm dropping a beat, as crazy as it sounds, as I'm dropping that beat, in my head, I'm going through the catalog thinking what goes good with this beat I could just slip into after.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm saying? And then after I kick that beat, and I also watch the response of the crowd too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for instance, like if I spin the beat and the response isn't that crazy, I'll switch up the beat again quickly. Like, you know what I mean, to another one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if the crowd's rocking with it, I might let it ride for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
So there's a lot of that now. It wasn't always like that. Like when I first started performing, I would try to like lay out like an actual set, like intro, this beat, then that beat, outro.
Yeah.
But what used to be frustrating back in those days is that I couldn't always remember what I was gonna do.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I get really cheesy on myself if I forgot a particular part of the beat that I was gonna do. So freestyle then became a part of it because it's not like I can't think of something else to do if something else is, because I mean the crowd doesn't know what it was supposed to be anyway. You know what I'm trying to say? So it turned into just, okay, I'll have like concepts and ideas of what I want to do, and I'll just start with that, and then just play around with it too. And then especially like if the sound man got to be really good, like if the sound man's on point and the system's fat, oh, you guys are in for a treat. Oh, you guys are in for a treat.
That's nice. Yo, you touched on something there. So I did stand-up comedy for like 8 years in Toronto.
Oh, word.
Yeah. And only a couple of times I actually forgot my own joke on stage. And I couldn't wing it. So like the audience picks up on that. So I'm thinking, because you were saying the audience didn't know or doesn't know, like if you're on one trajectory doing some beats and you know you forgot something, can people pick up on anything, or is it just like it's all good to them where they hear this, oh, you went into this? Or do you feel like, oh man, did they catch that?
It really depends on who I'll say. The average person can never tell.
Okay.
The average person can never tell. Subconscious, if he was at a show, he could tell because he knows me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he'll know what I did to cover up whatever it was that I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or my brother, Jay Omer, shout out to Jay Omer. He also knows me, right?
Okay.
So like, even if he doesn't catch on like the particular slip, he'll be able to tell by my energy, like, oh, he did something he didn't like just you know, like he'll definitely be able to. Yeah. So certain people who know me, who's listened to me for X amount of years or whatever, and spend like X amount of years with me, like they could probably tell, probably. But I mean, at this point in time, I'm pretty good at masking situations.
Yeah.
If I come into a situation, which is not often, but I mean, it does happen. Like, I'm only human.
Yo, one thing I want to know is when did the trajectory, like things start to pick up? So you know you're in high school and you perform, you're going to other schools and you're battling people, but then when did that buzz start coming? Where, and I'm trying to put the internet age in this, you know what I mean? Because you know I'm older. And I remember when the internet came about and you know YouTube and all this. But do you remember? Tell me a little bit about that, where the buzz starts coming. People might call you to do shows too. And then all your friends are like, yeah, we got a competition here. And then even going to the States or overseas, like, tell me about that experience as well.
So how that starts is like, I used to just try to find open mics. Okay. And just try to get on as many open mics as I could. That's how like most of my early performances would happen. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go to places like that, like you never know who's in the crowd, you know?
Right.
Even if it's just like a little bar that has like maybe just 5-6 people just kicking it there. Like, you know, if they had the mic there, I'd be down to just drop a beat. Just to practice beatboxing in front of people, just to like, you know, just get over certain things. And also to try new beats and stuff like that, you know. And then like, you know, occasionally you'll see people will see you in the crowd and they'll be like, yo, I got this show coming up. I really like if you could be a part of it, and like, you know. Okay. So it's a lot of that. And then like, you know, you go to that show and then someone sees you like, yo, we have this thing popping off over here. It'd be dope if you could come to. And so it kind of just like just spreads. Like the more I do, like usually, you know, I kill it, and then someone there wants me at their event as well, you know. Yeah. So that's kind of just how it's worked out for the most part. Even like now, it's kind of how it is. Like I'll go do something, then somebody will see me there and want me for something else. So
yeah. So, and then one thing I want to know too is a lot of times we start these things as a hobby and then we like doing it. And then you can find out that you can kind of do it as a side profession or your major profession and things like that. When does the money come in? Like you're always trying to monetize things, whether it's you have a YouTube channel and you put videos up there or you have some kind of sponsorship. Does that come into play now too, where you're like, okay, I can monetize this and make some money off it?
Well, I mean, I've been making money off of it for a little bit now, you know, but it's because there's different aspects of the beatbox besides just performing. So the whole arts education thing, yes, that's me going to schools and like doing workshops and stuff, doing assemblies and stuff like that, you know. So I've worked with like a few organizations over the years, Arts for Children and Youth being one of them, Unity Charity being one of them, Peace being one of them, Pour More. So I've worked with a few different organizations that do that type of work. I mean, so and most of those are what gave me the opportunity to kind of travel as well. So like I've been around a lot of Canada thanks to some of those organizations. I working with them, you know. So I've done work out in Alberta, Montreal, Winnipeg.
Oh, nice.
Nova Scotia, Halifax, you know, BC. New Brunswick even, like once.
Wow.
That was a quick one. That was a quick one. Everything was just there like overnight. But yeah.
The traveling
So
comes, but and what about the States too? That you go to like New
so
York?
I was in the States. So I was there as word of mouth or subconscious when I was in the States.
Mhm.
So the way that happened because we had won a battle, I believe. I think that's when we won the battle, and then part of the prize was to perform
Mhm.
at the American Champs,
Mhm.
right? So the couple times I was out there in New York, I think both of those were, I think those both for the same reason. Like we won back to back years, and we got to go to the States twice to perform
Nice.
there for them. Yeah,
Nice. And
yeah.
now just going back to the arts and education, I like how you're giving back like to the kids. So how does it feel? Like I could just picture you like teaching kids, I guess the fundamentals of
Exactly.
beatbox. So how does that feel when a young kid looks at you and be like, oh, how you make those sounds? And you might inspire them too. I kind of like that.
Right. Honestly, like it's cool when they're inspired or when they think it's cool what I'm doing, but
Mhm.
I feel better once I see them do it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Yeah.
like if by the end of the workshop they could actually kick a solid beat, like that's what makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what. So I definitely teach them the foundation first. Like I break it down to the three basic sounds, like the kick, the hi hat, and the snare. So I teach them those three sounds individually,
Yeah.
and then I show them how to put them together, sort of thing. You know, and then once they know how to like kick a beat with all those sounds, then they can start adding in their own sounds. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how rap battles have a time limit. So you got a minute, whatever it is, 2 minutes to kick a rhyme and all that. Is there a time limit on this? Because does your mouth get tired, man? Are you so trained where you could like beatbox forever?
So this is the thing. Beatboxing for me and
Hmm.
for most people on my level and beyond,
Okay.
um, it's like breathing to them. Because there's certain sounds that we do that we're exhaling, and then certain sounds that we do when we're inhaling.
Yeah.
So as long as we're keeping that flow, like we could do certain beats forever. Like my mouth will get dry before I run out of breath. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Like that's one thing that like that's why no beatboxer goes on stage without a bottle of water. Not one.
Wow.
We
Yeah.
always have a bottle of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
After every set, while the crowd's doing their cheering, we're always sipping. Always sipping.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We gotta keep things lubricated, you know.
Yes.
But as far as breath though,
Hmm.
um I can't really say around the breath because like I said,
Hmm.
I'm still inhaling and exhaling, you know?
Excellent. Okay. And the time limit. So how much time you get on stage if you're going against someone in a battle?
It's usually a minute to 2 minutes,
Minute.
depending on the battle and the rules and the circumstances, right? But it's usually a minute to two for the
Hmm.
most part, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the 2-on-2 battles were 2 minute rounds. I'm pretty sure they were 2 minute rounds. Yeah.
I just have a few more questions.
Mm.
So one thing, when I was looking at your page, did
Mm.
someone recently pass away that was a beatboxer or someone in the industry or anything?
Right. He went by the name of Kid Lucky. He's from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
definitely one of like the beatbox ambassadors out there, and he's responsible for bringing a lot of the beatboxers out there like together
yeah.
by putting on events and this man, it was definitely a great loss to the beatbox community for sure.
Yeah. R.I.P. man.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you have any projects going on now right now? What are you up to right now these days?
Not really projects per se. I mean, I'm more just going through like a whole creative brainstorming kind of process right now. Just trying to get things out and I'm trying to get like ideas out, like recording and just messing around with different ideas. But no, I wouldn't say like an exact. I mean, projects will be coming for
Yeah.
sure. But I'm not saying I can't say I'm working on a particular project at the moment. You know what I'm saying? It's more just the creative process right now, just trying to get ideas and trying to find direction as far as that. I've
Okay.
been more working on like my stage performance. That's what I've been working on a lot as of late.
Yeah.
But definitely, yeah, I need to get some. Or I will be releasing some stuff eventually. Yeah, but I've been working more on the live show as of late, though.
Okay. Cool, man. Yo, we come to the point in the interview. I
Mm,
have two cards. I ask people these questions, and
mm,
I'm gonna read out the one that you want. Sorry. You
All
tell
right.
me which one you want me to read out, right? My right hand or my left hand?
Let's go left.
Right. What is one of the most memorable moments of your life?
My life. Golly. To be honest, man, one of the most memorable moments of my life was the Christmas that I got a Nintendo.
Oh,
Yeah, man. That NES. I'll never forget that feeling as a kid. Because the thing is this, I got that late. Like by
Mhm.
the time everybody else already had Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis,
Yeah, yeah.
I was playing Commodore 64.
Yeah,
That's what we had them times.
yeah, yeah.
So even though like it wasn't like the newest system out at the time, just the fact that I finally had a system, I was so happy, bro. Just
Yeah.
that feeling and the feeling like when my dad finally hooked it up
Mhm.
and I seen the Super Mario 3, like I seen
Yeah.
the curtain raise, like oh
Yeah.
my goodness, bro. I'm like, yo, this is a trip.
Yeah.
Yo, yeah, man. Honestly, like that's one of like my happiest moments of life.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, for sure.
I like asking that question because
Mm.
sometimes it hits people right away. You know, people with kids, it's like the birth of my child.
Mm-hmm.
And I love when I hear because people understand when they're thinking back, yeah, this sparks the memory, man. And that
Right.
Nintendo, I know that feeling too, man.
Yo,
My
that
brother and I were
was
late
an amazing feeling. Trust
yeah.
me, man. I wish I could replay it sometimes. It's great.
Yeah, my brother and I were late at getting things, man. While everyone had Atari, we
Mm.
had something called Intellivision.
Oh, I know
You
that.
know?
I know television.
Yeah, we had
Oh, yeah.
Intellivision.
I'm a gaming nerd. Trust me. When it comes to
Oh,
okay, games, video games, comics, action figures,
yeah.
you think that I'm a child if you see
Yeah.
the things I have. Like I have many things. Trust me.
But
Nothing against.
you see what's in the background here, right?
Yeah. I see you. I see you. I
Fact,
see you.
man. Yeah.
Mm.
Yo, before we do the donation part,
Mm.
parents support. How was the support from your parents? When they knew you had this art form, this making music with the mouth.
Well, it was once they realized that like I could do something with it, they're definitely more supportive.
Yeah,
My mom was always cool. My pops just thought I was just making noise. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But
yeah,
yeah, they both definitely have a respect and appreciation for it. Like now,
yeah,
100%. Yeah.
yeah. That's always important, man. Okay, so now for season 4,
Mm.
I'm always asking my guests where they want me to donate to because I'm doing this to share stories of others and also give back. So all my life, I feel like I'm at an age now where I like giving back to causes and charities and things like that.
Right.
So do you have something in mind that you want me to donate to for episode 9?
Mm. I've always been, like a nature and animal lover. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, something towards like that would be dope.
Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? So I think it was season 2. I was donating to the Mississauga Humane Society, and because you're
Okay.
Mississauga, I'm gonna donate to the Mississauga Humane Society.
Oh, that's big. That's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Also, so where can people find you? Tell me your IG, your Facebook, YouTube,
Yeah.
anything
So
you got
just
out there.
yeah, just Mr. Killa Beats. It's Mr. Killa Beats. MrKillaBeatz.
All
Mr.
right.
Killa Beats. Yeah.
And you're on IG, and then do you have
Yeah.
Twitter?
Yeah.
You have Twitter, everything. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Mr. Killa Beats. Thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
coming out. I really
No, thanks for having
appreciate
me,
it.
man.
Yes. This is season 4, episode 9 of Real Talk with Star Scorpio. And we out.
Killa Beats.